Hey everyone, it's Leslie Mack here. I'm so excited. Welcome to our very first Goose Chicks podcast live broadcast. I am going to very quickly bring on my amazing, the rest of the Goose Chicks pod team. We're going to welcome Chelsea up here. We're also going to have Hannah jump in the mix and my co-host Alexius. Actually, hold on a second. I got to fix this. There we go. Just so we know who we all are. Hi, everybody. How are y'all doing today?
So awesome. Like still on just like a super whirlwind. Haven't come down off of cloud Goosemas, cloud everything that has happened in the last week. I don't know if I will. I'm just amazing, beyond amazing.
Yeah, very true. I saw a few other podcasts had done like recaps already, and I was like, I'm not at all prepared to do a full recap because I really haven't fully processed everything. But obviously today's Wednesday, which is our normal pod drop day. Three of the four of us were actually in Colorado last week, which made recording a little tricky. And also I wanted to give us some time to breathe and experience Goosemas and get through it. So we'll be doing some recap stuff, but you won't hear that till next week. So don't worry about that. But we thought since we had no podcast today, this would be a fun time to let everyone get to know us a little bit and talk a little bit about Goosemas. Had a few questions we wanted to throw around and also give you all a little taste of what we have coming up on the show in the coming weeks and months. So with that, Chelsea, if you would just do a very brief introduction of yourself so people know who you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea. I'm from Moline, Illinois. So I'm out here in the Quad Cities. I got into Goose in 2020 during the pandemic and started seeing them in 2021 and just was at Goosemas. So I'm super excited to talk about that and continue on the podcast with these wonderful ladies.
Awesome. Hannah.
Hey everyone. I'm actually in the same area as Chelsea. I'm outside of Chicago visiting my sister, but I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. And I started listening to Goose in 2020. And my 1 year anniversary is New Year's Eve. So which was in Chicago last year. And I got to go with my sister. And then this year it's in Cincinnati, which I'm from Ohio. And so I'm very excited for all of that good stuff. But if you see me at shows, I'm usually hula hooping. I always wear like funky sunglasses that are prescription. And I'm just excited for everything that's to come.
Yes. And last but definitely not least, Alexius.
Hey, I'm Alexius. So I'm from North Carolina. I got into Goose, it's through COVID, listening to all types of music, and I was listening to Stick Figure. And my husband, he was like, "Hey, check this band out." And so I was listening to Goose, and then things started lightening up, and we went to check them out at Floyd Fest, and immediately fell in love. And we were super lucky because they had an autograph signing, and they were just coming out of it, and we got to meet them and hang out with them, and it's just been a whirlwind ever since. And I actually figured out the other night, I thought that that I was going to hit 30 shows on the 30th, but Leslie, we hit 30 shows the other night at the Fox, or I hit 30 shows with you together at the Fox the other night and had no idea. So it's just been super awesome, just super amazing. There aren't even words to describe, and especially just everything that's happened. And, just keep saying, how can they do it? How can they do it? And they do. So, so I'm just super pumped to be along this ride with everyone, and super pumped to be with you ladies and everyone else here.
Can I ask a point of clarification? When you say your show count, which I'm terrible at remembering, BTW, do you count Arabelo? Because I know you all were at some of the Arabelo shows. So
I don't.
No, I did. That was not with that. That was number one and my first and only, and that was in itself an amazing experience. I kind of got a preview, but it's still not the same thing at Radio City Music Hall as Arabelo is, and it was a completely different thing and completely worth every single inch of, if you're on the board, on the, on the line about should I go, should I not go, go, definitely go. It's worth it.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. For folks who don't know me, my name is Leslie Mack. I'm a producer and co-host of this show, and I got into Goose through my podcast about fish. Actually, my co-host on that show was like, "You got to listen to this band Goose," and I was like, "I do not need another band to be obsessing over." And then my husband went to see a show out in Portland. He came back and he was like, "Yeah, you gotta just, you have to go." So when they came to Charlotte, finally, I went to that. That was my first show, and I think, yeah, I'll be at 20 shows by New Year's Eve this year alone. So I hit the ground pretty hard, but I also just, when we've talked about this on the show, just recognize this is a really like seminal year for the band. And so I just felt like a lot of these smaller venues and places that we've been able to see them, like we won't see them again.
Yeah, I felt that for sure at Goosemas. I was like, this is the biggest place I've ever seen them play. It felt just huge, and I was like, this is so weird. It was different for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely very cool and super excited for them. So I guess that could lead us into the next part of the discussion I wanted to do was just initial thoughts about Goosemas and the experience of it. Obviously, this was the first time that it was outside of Connecticut, which is Goose's home state, and also was the first time they've done 2 nights for Goosemas. So I thought that was really interesting as well. Hannah couch toured, so I'm going to start with you and just, yeah, what was it like at home? What did it look like? Yeah, what were the vibes like if you weren't in the space?
So I was really fortunate because I'm a professor. I get the month off. So I booked it to my best friend's house and was able to couch tour with him. I made like a really nice Goosemas feast. Our buddy Danny came over and it was a blast. And then night 2 got a little wild. And our really cool friends, Lauren and Joe, they had like a white elephant. It was Joe's birthday, Goosemas extravaganza. And it was so fun. They let us goose nerd the heck out. There were some guys there that I had never met before. And like, they were off to the side. They're fish fans. And they were off to the side, like critiquing Goosemas. And they had really positive things to say. And so that was really fun. I was like whispering to my friend Tyler, like, do you hear them talking? And then, but the icing on the cake was some of my buddies did the Peanuts dancing with me for Linus and Lucy. And so we knew it was coming. And it was just like, yes, like, I can't believe these fools will like dance and just like, they don't dance like no one's watching. And like, it was so much fun. It was as good as it could be without being there in person, honestly.
I love it. And shout out to everybody that couch toured at home. I thought I've watched a few of the things obviously since I've gotten home, and it looked so good. I can't say enough about the Getty Light team. I mean, this was just so elevated, so much higher. And we'll talk about more about this on the actual show, but I was really impressed. And so I'm sure from home it looked really freaking cool. Chelsea, how about you?
I was just going to say, I was actually the first night pretty much right next to Getty. So I was kind of seeing what he saw, which was really cool. So that was the first time I saw the Goose in the lights at a show live. I've seen photos, so I thought that was cool. I was like, it says Goose. I got really excited. So yeah, I was kind of back more at the first night, and I really appreciated the lights, and I was dancing and having a great time. So that was a lot of fun. But I would say night 2, set 2, just kind of mind blown. I knew I was there because I took a video of Animal, but besides that, I don't think I was there. I don't know. So just so much fun. And I love Denver too, and Colorado. It's kind of like a second home to me. So that was cool to be there. And it was just so great.
Yeah, I love Colorado. And Chelsea and I got to go to Meow Wolf together.
Yes,
which you don't know what it is. It's a dope interactive space that like this giant interactive. I don't know. The way I was describing it to people was that it's like one of those places. As soon as you walk in, you basically turn into a child version of yourself,
Yep.
because everything is like meant to be touched and interact with, and everything is just like literally you see a door. It looked like a freezer, but when you opened it, it was like this cool room you could sit in, and the lights were super cool. Anyways, we got to do that the first day that we were in Denver, which was really, really fun. We had a great time doing that. And I love
Yes.
Colorado. I was there for a whole 10 days. So it was a lot of time, but really, really fun. Alexius, initial thoughts about Goosemas?
I didn't know what to expect, and I usually don't go into shows having any expectations because I've learned that you can let yourself down even though the show was amazing. It takes you a few days to appreciate it because you're like, man, I wish they would have played this song and this song. So I've really learned not to have any expectations and to live in the moment and enjoy it. And I absolutely thought it was amazing. I heard some people just being like, oh, on night two, like, I wish this would have been done, or I wish this would have been done. But it was absolutely amazing. And I thought I was super excited about it because it felt like a bingo 2.0 and, being there and all the balls being drawn out and, knowing and seeing the video afterwards and, seeing them laugh and, cut up about like which balls were being pulled out. So it was a great show. It was great sets, great music, and I was super excited. Like I just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, this is like Bingo 2.0. This is like Bingo 2.0." So I felt just super honored to be there. Super like they made it even better than we could expect because it was a 2-night run, and who would thought like a Bingo 2.0, and so it was. I thought it was top notch. I thought they did a great job for their first time, on the 2-night run on the West Coast, and they definitely stepped it up, and they did more than I thought that they were going to do because I mean this has been a huge year, and they just kept us smiling. And when I came home I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be Mrs. Claus on steroids. Like I am going to be able to like super enjoy this, like enjoy Christmas, because us moms are like, us parents, we're just completely out of energy by the time it gets here. And I'm so happy that I went, and I was kind of on the fence, like, should I go? Should I not go? That's just a lot going on. And I'm so extremely happy that I did because I just have a extra million peps in my step. And so I think that this is definitely going to be a yearly thing for me, is going and getting that extra pep in my step and being an awesome Mrs. Claus, the best I can be. So I definitely was not disappointed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't been to a Goosemas before, so I was kind of like, "Oh, whatever they do is going to be great," which is usually my general feelings going into any Goose show. But yeah, I really think they went above and beyond. It was so they were just really dialed in with the vibes of the audience, and I also agree. I think I even posted online about this, that I did not feel the holiday spirit till I got to Colorado. Like I was just not really into it. And then I got there and I was like, oh wait, it's Christmas time. It's the holidays. Like I should be cheerier. So it definitely got me into that same space as well. And I completely agree, Chelsea, with the second set, night 2 of Goosemas was extremely special. I was just kind of like up front, just in a daze, just couldn't believe everything that was happening and all the effects that they had, and all the special things that they planned for us, and still kept I think the spirit of improvisation alive throughout the weekend, and that was really cool, and really happy about that. Again, we're going to go into more in-depth questions about Goosemas and talk a lot more in depth about Goosemas in an upcoming episode. So never fear, you'll hear lots more commentary from us and some more reflections. Just full disclosure, this was also my husband's 50th birthday week, and we had to cancel a trip we were supposed to be going on. And so we ended up doing all 3 Array Below shows and all 3 Goose shows all at once. So we were in Colorado,
Champions right
driving
there.
all over
Amazing.
the place, going all over the place everywhere, Beaver Creek and Steamboat Springs, which was really fun, and Boulder, and then obviously Broomfield, and then back to Boulder for the Fox show. So I know, Hannah, you had a question about the Fox show.
Yeah, so if y'all are Goose Chicks podcast nerds, then and you've listened to all of our episodes, you know Leslie was saying that you can tell there's going to be a freshie because Rick will have his guitar in the back as they're getting set up and everything. And so when I saw the freshie, I was like, I need my Goose Chicks to report back and let me know, was his guitar in the bag? And I heard there's a story about this, so do tell.
There is. So I want to give a shout out to friend of the show, Charlie Warzel, who is a reporter and writer with The Atlantic, among other places as well. And I got to spend some time with Charlie on Friday, the first day of Goosemas. Before he was going to spend quite a few days with the band directly. So he was just talking about Goosemas, talking about this show, talking about all of you, which was really great. And so at the Fox show, Alexius and I were together, and he texted me and he said, he was with them through all of their rehearsals throughout the weekend, and he said, you might get a fresh one tonight because I heard them play a new song, but they didn't do it during Goosemas. So no, the guitar was not missing, but they had practiced this song in that 3-day period. I don't know when they wrote it, but it's called Mr. Action for those who aren't aware. So we got it. It was the first song, second set at the Fox. So the guitar was not missing, but we did have a little insider info. We were like waiting. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? And then literally they started and Alexius goes, "This is it." She's like,
This is it. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. So
they definitely made that just super special, and they definitely made that Conscience Alliance show super duper special. And they had a couple of smaller shows this year, and I was at the one in Wilmington that had like 600 people in it, and
such a good show.
It was a great show. But this show that they did, this show at the Fox is just, I don't even know. Like, Leslie, how would you describe it?
I don't know. You know what it is? It really struck me. This was, in my opinion, a true fan show. And it was really cool to see what they envisioned as to what they would play for a fan show. I was looking around right before they came out and realizing like I had been at shows with almost everybody that I could see, whether it was New Orleans or Atlanta or Red Rocks, wherever, or even this past week. And it really hit me that this was a charity show, but these were super fans in the audience at that show. And I went to the venue without a ticket, y'all. I did not have a ticket to go to this show. I'd secure one for my husband, but I was like, I'm just going to go and hopefully I'll get in. And somebody, of course, was there. They had an extra ticket. I bought it off them right on the line and got in. But there were like 12 or 15 people doing that. Everybody got in by the end of the night. So, it was that kind of vibe. Everybody was so excited to be in there and be, just experience whatever this was going to be. And so just to put a point on that, if those who were at Red Rocks, they had these postcards they had given out to everyone, and they were like, write, your Christmas wish and send it, and back to us, and maybe we'll do something with it. It was very vague. And so Peter pulled out some of these cards for the encore, and he starts off with a girl named Becky who requested Broke Down Palace, and she was there, y'all. She was in the room, and you heard her scream, and then the entire room starts chanting, Becky, Becky, Becky. So it was just, that was this. When I realized that, I was like, this person was at Red Rocks, sent a card in, read it out loud, and she was there. I just was so impressed with that. It was really, really cool. And that moment felt really special because it was just confirmed to me, like, oh yeah, the fans are really in here, and we were like,
we have the best fans, best fan group, and the best Peter.
Yes.
They It was such a beautiful night, because also usually it's, just super heated through at bigger shows through set break, where people are trying to get up front, and the people that have done the work, they've waited there all day, and so people try and come up, and Leslie and I, we were together, and at set break, like 5 people break off from us, and I'm like, whoa, 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 it's just me, like, how am I supposed to take up space for 5 people? And so luckily, I've never seen this happen before, ever. There was nothing spilt in the floor whatsoever. And so I just had on like a solid black outfit, and I just laid down on the floor. My jacket was behind my head, and I just laid down on the floor like a starfish. And, everyone's like looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have to hold spots for 5 people. Like, how am I supposed to hold spots for 5 people? And so, but it ended up working out. Like, no one was rude whatsoever. Everyone was so kind. There was like, it was a tiny place. You could get through, everyone's like, okay, here you go. You can get through back and forth to the bathroom. And like Leslie said, you looked around, you knew a lot of people, and it just was such a beautiful and great vibe to be in. And you could just see how much the band was having a great time. They were having a great time. The smiles on their face, the smiles on our faces, and just it was very special. They definitely put on, they did more than they had to for Conscience Alliance. And I'm very happy that I ended up I ended up getting a ticket. Like, that was a big thing, just to get a ticket. And it was really cool that I was super pumped when you said that you got a ticket. You're like, I got a ticket. And so, and it was also special, Jeff comes out, he's talking to fans, there aren't a lot of people there, so they're not overwhelmed. And, and that's the first time I've ever seen the merch table, and like and getting a poster, just not just, knock down, drag out, like trying to get in there. So it's really, really fun, a lot of fun, and definitely a great job, and very awesome that they did that for Conscious Alliance. And I think that they had served 2.2 million meals, I think it says at the beginning this year. And a lot of it was because of the Goose community. So thank you all to the Goose community, and that's just super awesome.
And I think we see that sort of translate into the fan community, because you have Goose doing that, right? And raising funds and awareness in that way. But then we also have the Western Sun Foundation taking off. And so I don't know if someone wants to talk a little bit about what's being cooked up in Cincinnati for the New Year's Eve run, and the stuff happening with Western Sun. But this might be a good chance to plug that.
Yeah, it would be. I don't have like the press release right in front of me right now, but I know that they will have a table at New Year's, and that they are pairing up with the Peaslee Neighborhood Center, which is only, I think, like 2 miles from the venue where we're going to be. And it's been an organization that's been going for quite a while, and that they are helping children there and helping children in need. And so it'll be a great thing to stop by and to help give to the give. And you can also go online in their Facebook and Instagram, and you can donate there. And so I think what is the donation, Mark? Was it 5,000? I think it was 5,000, but I think it might have gone up a little bit because of the amazing Goose fans. And so it was just like, if everyone just gave $10, it would just automatically be there, and even more than that. So so go check it out on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a website for them, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's going to continue going on. And but this one for New Year's, they're specifically helping the Peaslee Neighborhood Center, and they have like a video on it. There's so much information on the Facebook page and on the Instagram, and it links you directly over, and there are direct links of how to give money. And, even just like I said, even if it's a small $5 amount, that is definitely helping the neighborhood.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys can see on the bottom of the page, westernsunfoundation.org/NYE-campaign. But if you just go to westernsunfoundation.org, you'll see the link right at the top of the page. What I really love about it, and this is something Western Sun's going to continue to do, is when Goose is in town, that the fans have an opportunity to give back to the communities that we visit. So this is their first, time doing that. It's very exciting. I know that they had told me that the center was sort of like, you want to do what? Like they were a little taken aback, but I think it's going to be great to see this become normalized, right? And so, 3 cities from now, it won't be a surprise. They'll be like, oh, we were hoping you'd choose us, like I'm so excited for those types of connections to start to be made. And it's very exciting. So definitely everybody check that out. And it's $10 per entry. And there are going to be some really dope prizes that they're raffling off for folks that enter and donate. So definitely check that out and go and see. Let's see. We can start wrapping up because I really want to be here all night, but just wanted to give folks a little flavor of our chemistry and what we do together. So let's talk a little bit about, what to expect from Goose Chicks podcast so people know. First of all, you should go listen. We have 2 full episodes that are up right now. Our Taboose recap show, which is long and very good, and last week's show where we got to talk with Mia Lee about her connection with Trey Anastasio and the line that they have out right now, which was so inspiring for the 4 of us to listen to. I'm still been holding on to gems that Mia dropped during that conversation. So everyone go check that out, and also definitely support the Mia and Trey line. The money is being split between a Music Cares Foundation and Divided Skies. So all the money is going to good causes, and also the clothing's really good. So definitely check that out. So listen to those 2. But I love Chelsea. What are some of the things you want to make sure that we cover on the show? Let folks know what to expect.
I'm super excited to talk about Goose lyrics, dive deeper into meanings that how we take them, I guess, and meanings behind those lyrics, spiritual connections that we've made to Goose's music. That's kind of the biggest thing for me. I also wanted to give a shout out to my friend Nikki. She was watching our show and she said, I just really appreciate how you guys just have so much honesty. I just feel the honesty there. And I was like, yes, that. We're all just so like, I feel genuine and candid. And so I'm excited to share that with everyone too. And just our honest take on things. So
yes, we're all about the honesty here. Because why say anything if you're not going to be honest? That's how I see it anyways. Right. Kind of a waste of time. Hannah, how about you? What's everyone's going to hear when Hannah's on the mic?
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm really excited about some of the guests that we're going to have. So when I initially expressed interest in being a part of this podcast, my MO was to promote consent culture, and specifically Ashley, who runs Brew Safe, is a total badass. I had been emailing with her off and on. I've been able to reconnect with her, and you all were able to meet her and see her table at Goosemas. So I'm excited for that. And then I was looking at my phone because I was looking for one of the things we talked about is like trying to remove this barrier or like this elitism that exists in some jam band circles, and sort of dropping knowledge on the community. And so for the New Year's Eve Cincy recap, I'm just going to do a plug, even though I don't exactly know what I'm plugging. So I took 7 years off from the Midwest jam band scene and was in Hawaii. I did my PhD there. Long story short, I came back. My best friend was like, you have to check out this band Goose. They play Covington all the time. And there was a group of women who my friend told me their names recently, and I was supposed to reach out with them, and I totally forgot. And they have a group that does promotion. They go to a bunch of shows together, and they would always have Goose. They would invite Goose to play this bar in Covington that has since closed. I can't remember the name of it either. I suck. I will, before the end of this, I will get to it. And so I would love if they wanted to like sort of talk about that. and maybe, be a guest, or we can at least like highlight the work that they did, because that's such a cool thing that they did that's related to Cincinnati and Goose, back in the day when they were still playing bars and clubs. So just like being able to share that knowledge, I realized I just went on a tangent, being able to share that knowledge and bring women who do a lot of behind the scenes work into the fold, and like have them on blast front and center, like we did with Mia, like we're going to do with some other awesome women like Ashley. That is kind of what I'm most excited about, and sort of incorporating it into what we talk about as we do a New Year's Eve or a Goosemas recap and that sort of thing. It's not the standard recap, right? Because we're bringing in these often invisible experiences of women along the way.
I love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Alexius, how about you? What should people expect from Goose Chicks podcast?
I think that Goose Chicks podcast is not going to be like every other podcast. We're not just breaking down the songs like we pretty much haven't done this one. It's about the environment and what's going on in the Goose community, and how that we can help others, how we can watch out for others, and how to just get into things and what's happening, just like the Western Sun Foundation and goosecommunity.com, and also ways to prepare and get ready for next shows and what to expect, and things that we have had to learn and tumble and pick up and tie up our shoelaces and just keep going, and trying to share the knowledge that we have learned along the way, and just the beauty in the community, sharing that beauty and the knowledge that we learn, and trying to just help those connections and come together, and it be more than just the band, because we know that the band is why we're all here. And since we're all here, we all decided like, hey, let's bring our strong suits to the table, and helping everyone bring that together, and us connect together on different levels. And I've learned so much about so many people along the way, and it's just been beautiful connections to our life. So I think that's another thing that you can expect from Goose Chicks podcast, is the connections, and how to find different people, and what to do in the community, and connecting with each other.
Absolutely. I just put Kevin's comment up on. If you haven't already signed up at goosecommunity.com, please go and do that. It's really dope. You can log all your shows. You can upload pictures and see other folks' pictures as well. I've been enjoying it. It's just great to see all the stats. I'm a stat nerd when it comes to shows, so I'm really excited about that.
It's so much information. It's amazing.
Like everything
it's
you
so
can think of.
everything. The photographers. There's a Wisteria Lane instead of Shakedown Street, and coming out the shows this weekend, I was like, oh, check it out, Wisteria Lane is happening. Like it's beautiful to see all the things that have happened, and definitely check out Goose Community. Like I can't say enough about it. When it opened, I just cried. It was just so beautiful. Like it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see, and it's just going to continue to grow. And definitely log your sites. And hey, if you're not good at keeping your numbers, it keeps it for you as you check under show diaries. Like you check, yes, I've been to this show, and you can put your photos in there, and you can put who was at the show with you, so you can decide if you want to share them publicly or only with those people. And so it's really cool to keep up with. And for those that are not into social media, this is not social media at all. This is a specific website just for Goose fans and your Goose shows. And so it keeps your number for you, and just different things, and seeing the photographers and the professional photographers. I could go on and on and on, but it's an amazing site. And if you're not into social media, it brings you the beauty of it without the drama of it. So definitely, it's a great site.
Well put. I'm going to go into Hannah because she's got a shout out to do. So
and this is my sister and my nephew. He's also a JJ Garcia, not the same. He's
Oh my
gosh.
Our dad is very proud that his grandson is named JJ Garcia.
We're all proud. That's so handsome. That's so amazing. Merry Christmas, little bud.
So I did not want to shout out to the Cincy women without actually naming their group. I just, I want to give credit where credit's due. So I found what I was looking for, and the bar was called Octave. It no longer exists, but it was a dope place to see music in Covington, which is right across the river in Cincinnati. And the women who were part of Flavortown. So Flavortown women, if you're listening, hit me up because we want your knowledge dropped on our podcast.
Yes. We love talking to you. You set me up perfectly because for me, one, I want to give a shout out to Bethany and Tina who founded and helped run the Goose Chicks Facebook group, because one of the things I noticed as soon as I started going to Goose shows was, one, how many women there are, and especially up front, like right in front of the band, on the rail, on the floor, so many women. And being a jam band fan for 20 plus years, it was just so different and so obvious to me that it was different. And then when I found the Goose Chicks Facebook group, I was like, oh, I wasn't imagining things like this. Community is really different, and women are really central to the growth of this band. We're such huge evangelists for them, and I wanted to create a space for us to center those points of view, to center LGBTQ plus folks, to talk about children and families at shows, to talk about our experiences as women at shows, because they often don't get told. And so I wanted to make sure that they did. And so happy that you all said yes to kind of jump on this ride with us. What am I excited about coming up on the show? I'm really excited for us to talk about getting ready for tour, especially now a spring tour has been announced since we launched. And so just talking with folks who may be just getting into this. I'm excited to talk about folks that have found love and connection at Goose shows. I've been witness to at least 3 proposals myself personally at Goose shows. So I know there are more out there. So I'm excited to talk about that. I'm excited to, one of the episodes I'm really looking forward to is really exploring why Goose connects so much with women. I've only heard male takes on this particular subject publicly, so I'm super excited for all of us to get to share what we think about it and why. We're also going to talk with some of the leadership of the Western Sun Foundation and talk about how that all came to be and the importance of fan-driven charity work. I think it's going to be really cool. We're going to talk with some of the women that are out on tour, whether they're photographers or crew members. There's so many of them, and I'm excited to talk with them. And last but not least, we're going to have a whole show just dedicated to all of your voices out there. So I'm putting up on the screen right now our official Goose Chicks podcast phone line, which is 704-275-3128. And if you're a Goose Chick and you want to give us a call and just leave a voicemail about your first show, your most recent show, your favorite show, really any experience that you want to share, just give us a call, 704-275-3128, and we may play your story on the show. So we really want to hear from you and have some time to open up the space to not just the 4 of us and the guests that we have coming on, but to everyone. Alexius, you look at something to say.
Yes, I definitely, like, over here in the corner, we definitely see what you're saying, and we appreciate every single one of you that are here with us this evening. And I haven't been able, like, as you can see, my camera is right here in front of me, so I'm just like dying to respond to all of y'all, and just want you to know that we are here. We appreciate y'all being here with us 100%, and we love each and every single one of y'all. So I just definitely wanted to make sure that we didn't wrap up without making sure that we said that we love you and that we're thank you for being here. And you know me, I love to talk. I would totally be over here responding to you, but I can't, because all you would see would be my fingers in my face. So, but thank you for being here, and thank you for all your comments, and we love y'all very much.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for being here and joining.
I did respond as much as I could.
Yes,
yes,
big deal. So, what are the things that you can do right now? One is obviously subscribe to Goose Chicks Podcast wherever you get your podcast. You can just search Goose Chicks Podcast. We are on all of the various players. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, wherever you are listening to a podcast, you can find us. I also want to give a big shout out to our friends at Osiris. We are part of the Osiris Media family, and they've been so great with us. And our sound engineer, Matt Dwyer in particular, who has been actually physically putting the show together after we create our magic, which is so wonderful. So thank you to Matt as well. And I guess let's break a little bit of news here today on the show. I'm here for it. Let's since for the people that are listening, we're super excited. You'll hear about this on the next episode to announce that we are officially sponsored by Ben and Jerry's, and we're so happy to have them supporting us and supporting the show. So shout out to the entire Ben and Jerry's team, especially Jay Curley and Jay Tandon, who have been great supporters of mine for years, and we're like, yeah, this sounds great. I got to go to take Jay to his first Jay Curley to his first Goose show during the Caboose run. So shout out to them, and we're really excited to have them.
So get some ice cream, Ben and Jerry's, jam band family, here we come.
Yes.
Oh, Kevin wants to know when we're gonna have a Goose Chicks flavor. I don't. You have to talk to Jays about that. I know it's a lot of work to do. So the more people that listen, the better chance we have. So yeah, tell your friends.
Spread the word. Yes.
Tell everybody
Gooseberry flavored. Gooseberry flavored.
Gooseberry
flavored. But we'll definitely have some stickers, and and spread the word. Share it, and hopefully we get our flavor and Goose gets their flavor, a great collab. That would be amazing.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, I don't want to cover everybody. There, that's better. Follow us everywhere. Goose Chicks Pod, just like that. We're everywhere every social media platform. We're the same name, Goose Chicks Pod. And if you're posting about us, use hashtag Goose Chicks Pod as well. So follow us everywhere. Spread the word to your friends. Subscribe. All of the things. Any last words before we sign off for tonight? Chelsea, we'll start with you.
I'm just really excited for New Year's Eve. So that's where my mind is at. I'm like, get through Christmas and then we're going to New Year's Eve. So we'll all be there together. So that's where my brain is already there.
I hear that. Definitely. I was my husband suggested us going somewhere this week, and I was like, no, we need some downtime here between Goosemas and New Year's. So I'm excited. And also New Year's will be the first time all four of us will be seeing a show at the same time. So we're very excited about it. Hannah, how about you? Last words.
I guess because we sort of did all connect on the Facebook page Goose Chicks. So I just want to shout out to Tina and all the people who started that group. To the best of my knowledge, none of y'all are original founders of that Facebook page. And so I just want to make sure to say, hey, thank you. We love you. If it weren't for y'all and the work you do, and all of Tina has the most positive messages ever. So thank you if you're listening. We just really appreciate you for bringing us together. And also, hi, Bailey. I see you. I love you.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Tina and also to Bethany, who was one of the founders as well, who I got to speak with. They're going to be on the show, so don't worry. We're going to hear all about how Goose Chicks, the group, came together and all the things that are in the midst of it. So I'm really excited to have them on the show. In the future, very near future, they'll be on there. When I say y'all don't even understand the shows we have stacked and ready for y'all, you're not even ready. The guests, the topics, it's going to be really.
It's coming. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
Alexia's last words from you for tonight.
So my last words are Merry Goosemas, Merry Goosemas. And so I just keep that ringing through my head, just running all the way home. And so, it's not many more days until we are all together again at New Year's and New Year's Eve. And so, and Eve. So I'm super excited. I hope you all have happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I cannot wait to see you all on tour again or on the New Year's Eve run. And whether you will be on couch tour or you will be there, I hope that you enjoy it and can't wait to see you soon. And thank you for being here with us.
Awesome. I don't have much to say. Y'all said all the things. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We're going to be playing around with a few things in the next couple of weeks and try to maybe do a few of our shows live so you all can listen in real time before Matt gets his hands on the audio for the podcast. So be on the lookout for that. We'll make some announcements once everything's set up. But we thought it would be fun just to come on tonight and say hi to all of you and thanks for joining us. And there'll be a new Goose Chicks podcast up next Wednesday, a week from today, where we actually will be previewing New Year's Eve. So definitely join us for that. It's going to be a really great conversation. And I think that's all. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.